here. I am one half of the Mitchells. On this channel, we like to record our travel adventures. We also discuss our journey towards financial freedom. And in this video, I'll be giving a more detailed account about how we paid off the Oberlin College loan last year in 2019. And in a previous video, I just gave a summary of 2019. I gave the big numbers, the big picture. In this video, I'm going to get down to the nitty-gritty of what we paid each month and when exactly we finally got the news that we were done, finished, kaput with the Oberlin College student loans. So if you're interested to find out what those payments looked like for us and how we got to the final figure of paying off our loans, then stay tuned. Okay, so I haven't updated this channel since around June of 2019, and so I'm just going to give the synopsis of the loan payoff. We finished paying the loan in September, so this is going to be an update from July until September. In that period of time, we made 6 payments. Like we did in the previous videos and we got into the habit of doing, we would make one big lump sum at the beginning of the month, and then based on the other paychecks that would come in towards the end of the month, we make a smaller payment. So we'd end up in that cycle of big payment in the beginning of the month, smaller payment towards the end of the month, and then combined, we tried to get as close to $3,000 as possible each month. That was our goal. And even if we fell short of that, we would always be paying way more on the principal than we would be on the debt. With that method, we'd always be paying down more on the principal than we did on interest, which is the key to the debt snowball. It's just getting rid of the debt so that you're no longer paying down on interest and accruing interest faster than you're paying it off. And you get into the habit of creating a budget, living below your means, and being intentional with where your money goes. A budget, Dave Ramsey always says in his talks and his financial philosophy, he always says that a budget is just telling your money where to go, and that being on a budget can feel like you've gotten a raise. And I can attest to that for us, since we've started budgeting and having budget meetings, our communication has increased, and we now know where our money is going to go. We have a plan for it, and we really can set goals and achieve them step by step because we already know what's going to happen. It's great. From July until September, we made 6 payments. And in July, the combined total of the 2 payments that we made came out to be $2,633.65. $2,623.83 of that total went towards the principal, and only $9.82 went towards interest. In the earlier part of the debt snowball payoff, more and more of that original balance that we're paying was to interest. It was hundreds of dollars in interest. But towards the end, when we started paying off some of the smaller loans that made up the big Oberlin College loan, the amount of interest accrued just shrunk. In August, we paid off $1,385 flat. We paid $1,375.52 towards the principal and $9.48 towards the interest. That month was a month where we traveled. Both of us traveled. Jalil went to Cancun. I went on a cruise. So that was a month where we knew we were going to have some expenses associated with travel. So we had less in our budget to set aside to roll into our debt snowball. In September, we made 2 payments again. The sum total of those 2 payments in September was $2,205.47, and we paid $2,200.65 towards the principal and $4.82 towards the interest. At the end of September, that was it. The $4.82 was the last payment. It didn't allow me to pay off the interest that accrued in the month before in that giant lump sum, so I had to wait until the date when it reset, and then I was able to pay off the last $4 and however many cents, and it was over. So, September, we zeroed out the Oberlin College loan. Getting closer and closer to our personal debt-free screen now that one of the 2 loans has been knocked out. For the year, when we combine the totals from each quarter in 2019, we paid off $23,344.42 in 9 months by making 25 payments. $22,985.27 of that went towards the principal, and only $339.18 was paid towards the interest that accrued on that loan. So the debt snowball really works, y'all. What was happening to us before when we were making smaller payments is that if we made payments that were, if we got income adjusted payments, for instance, and we only paid like $100 a month, then we would accrue more interest than we were paying on the loan, which meant that the loan was just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and the balance that was on the loan would just be greater than the amount that we took out. But once we started paying down on this debt snowball, the amount we were paying in interest shrank and shrank and shrank, because we were putting more and more and more of our money towards that principal, and it really works. It was so satisfying to watch that loan get whittled away. It took us only 9 months to shrink our loan, a total of which we ended up paying $23,000 on. It took us only 9 months to do that. We thought it was going to take us 10, and it took us 9. That's amazing, and I'm really excited to share that with you all, to let you know that it is possible. We did this by living on less than half of what we make. Most of our money is going towards our living expenses, so just our 4 walls, and we make sure we make the living expenses as small as possible, and then we put everything else towards paying off our debt. And we did this while traveling. We did this while building a savings account. We did this while having a cash flow emergencies. And it was okay. This is a method that weathers the storm. We highly recommend it. Alright, thank you so much for joining us on our channel. Stay tuned for the next video where I'll detail what happened with the Clarkson loan in that same amount of time. And then I'll also talk about what our plan is for the Clarkson loan moving into 2020. I don't have to give you an update for the Overland loan for 2020 because it's done. That's amazing. I'm so excited. So yes, here's to being one giant step closer to being debt-free. It's like, it's a little bit